How are we doing here? All right, let me know if you all can hear me all right. Yeah, I'm just doing my normal setup here before we get started. Okay. Might as well make a community post, but I'll let the Discord know as well. Okay. All right. How y'all doing? How many people do we got here? Okay, there's no one here yet. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we're back. I think I got everything set up properly here. The size is a little wonky, but we can change that as the stream goes along. For now, I'll just move these people down to the side. But yeah, I'm gonna be here, kind of like last year. I'll be here each and every Thursday night as we get into the live eviction, see everything go down as it happens. But yeah, like I feel like this was a pretty solid first week here on BB26. Definitely very promising start. I mean, good HOH result. Definitely a lot of interesting gameplay over the course of the week, and I feel like at this point, like we're things are kind of up in the air. Where I feel like there's gonna be a lot of intrigue coming into next week, but obviously, now obviously the AI arena con kind of gets into things, but even that's kind of interesting. When does the show start? So the show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So it's 50 minutes from now. But I like to start a little bit earlier, like get settled in, give people a chance to log on. But yeah, I mean, also just talk about what's been happening on the show, happening just in general. We also have some last minute additions to the games here, people. So if you're new here, so we run like a draft game, survivor pool game, and a bootless game. And the deadline is in a little under 2 hours from now. So you still got a little bit of time to join here. All right. So I think going into this, we should be having. Obviously, it'll all come down to the AI arena comp, where basically it's Matt goes home if anyone other than Matt wins, basically, and if Matt wins, then Kenny goes home. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here. Really, a lot of the intrigue comes down to the next HOH here. Who do you prefer to lead tonight? So I think for a while I was kind of leaning towards Matt leaving because obviously it's like it'd be satisfying to see Matt getting his comeuppance, but I think with the fact that Kenny like he has come around a little bit, like, but I feel like Kenny hasn't really brought that much to the season, so I don't know, like I feel like I personally connect more with Kenny, like at least archetype wise, but I feel like with Kenny not having done as much, I feel like he wouldn't be a massive loss to the season. So I am kind of hoping Matt wins, and truth be told, I feel like Matt should be pretty favored in the actual arena comp. So I think I am leaning towards Kenny leaving, but if Matt leaves, I think it would be a satisfying downfall. Yeah, I did have Blue towards the bottom a lot. Yeah, like yeah, Blue was kind of a mess during the season. I think in hindsight, I think I definitely like was kind of hard on her at points, but I still think she was a pretty mediocre player. Who do I want to win HOH? So I think this is definitely an interesting question here. So you obviously have like Matt. So I think first of all, you have a lot of people talking about when to throw it. So I know like Cam, Chelsea, and Cedric, they have all said they want to throw. I think Quinn also said he's going to throw the comp. I feel like there are other people that said they want to throw as well. So I think that kind of leaves us in an interesting world here. I think there's definitely a lot of interesting possibilities here, especially with how open the game seems to be right now. So I think like if I had to pick one person, I think Leah could be an interesting HOH. I think Leah, because Leah's kind of in a weird spot right now because like on one hand like she's kind of being held back by her connection to Matt and Mackenzie, where you have people like Quinn that and other people that have talked about wanting to work with Leah, but they feel like they can't do it right now because she's too attached to Matt Mackenzie, which is a fault on her end considering she came into the week being like one of the people that was playing the middle, like where she had the connection to the Angela side, but she kind of just made her bed with the Matt and MJ group. But I feel like if she were to win HOH here, I think it could be interesting, like because especially if Matt goes, because I think Matt going would really open up the game for her. Like, because obviously at that point, like you have other people that'd be willing to work with her, and if she were to win HOH on top of that, I think she could really shake up the game structure to her favor. So I think Leah would be an interesting result here. Who else do we have? Um, I think Chemo would be interesting. I don't think he's gonna gun for it though. I feel like Chemo like he has been picking it up a bit in more recent days, but I still feel like he's trying not to overplay. I feel like, and that kind of got him into trouble where he was a bit slow out of the game. That kind of led to him being put up in the first place. Um, I think personally, I would like Joseph. I think Joseph could also be an interesting result. Like Joseph is someone who I kind of have a soft spot for, and I feel like if he were to win, he could definitely like do interesting things with it. So I think he'd be pretty good as well. So like I say those are probably my top two. So like I feel like Leah, Joseph, I feel like those would make for interesting HOH weeks. Got your channel during 45. He was winning by the merge. Um, I felt like on the edge of community, a lot of people were pretty high on D, like pretty early on. Like I definitely noticed D early on. Like I felt like her premiere was kind of like, huh. But but yeah, like I feel like for a lot, it was interesting seeing like the debate between like D and Emily during a lot of that season, and like there was a point where like I definitely had Emily in contention. Like I definitely went back and forth during a lot of the season myself, and I think through 45 and 46, it's definitely like shaped my view of the new era winner edit even more. So like I feel like so yeah, it was definitely like interesting seeing people talking about that. Need Angela to survive. Next week she's carrying the show. Uh, I don't think Angela's necessarily the next target. If anything, so like I feel like Lisa's probably the most likely person we target next week, as she's like again pretty easy target. Like there's no clear power structure in the house right now, so like I feel like if I were one of these players and I'm trying to start up my own like majority alliance, I feel like Lisa would make for a pretty easy week. Would definitely like put a lot of people like in a space to where they could talk game with me. So like I definitely feel like through that Lisa's kind of in a precarious spot. Though she has been talking more game recent days. Like we do have seen her like talking more with Leah, with Chemo and T-Core. So again, we'll see where that goes. But I feel like if anyone outside of Leah, Chemo, and T-Core win, then Lisa will probably be in a lot of danger here. But Angel's not in a great spot, obviously, but I don't think she's I don't think she's a priority to be targeted by a lot of the house, unless it's like MJ or something winning HOH. But we'll see. Who is your favorite house guest? Again, I think personally, like I definitely gravitate a lot towards like Joseph, like and Quinn, like these Chemo, like these super fans of the show. I feel like of those three, I think Joseph is probably the one I connect with the most, though he's also like in a kind of a weird spot right now. I like Quinn. I'm just kind of worried for him though. I feel like he is getting a bit too cute with how he wants to play like the deep fake HOH though. Though considering he also talked about wanting to throw the HOH, I mean, again, he's probably not gonna like make like a major mistake too early, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit interested to see how he approaches the game. Who do you think he goes next week? I think so. If Matt goes, I think Lisa is like the consensus target for the following week. If Kenny goes and Matt stays, I think I could very well see like Matt, Mackenzie, Leah all on the block, and then like probably one of them ends up going. Probably Leah, because you gotta assume like if Matt wins the veto, MJ uses America's veto, and then Leah's just kind of dangling there. You know, I could definitely see that happening. Obviously, MJ would probably be the safest of those three, considering she has like the veto and stuff. So again, I feel like Lisa's in danger. Matt's in danger if he stays. Leah could be in danger if Matt stays this week. And then who else? I think those are like the main like people I'd say are in immediate. Oh, Cedric too. Like I think Cedric's in a good spot, but you also have people like Quinn that don't really trust him that much, and even though he's in a good spot right now, I could see a world where if like things fall apart for for the three C's, then I could very well see Cedric taking the brunt of that. But if I had to pick one person to go home next week, it's probably Lisa. What do you think would happen if Lisa won HOH? I could see her putting up like Tucker, like because they had that rivalry going on. Though I could also see like people like Quinn and Chemo and Tigor getting into her ear as well to maybe. I don't know if Quinn would push for Cedric going this early though. So I don't know. I think Lisa may do like stupid noms, like maybe like Tucker, MJ, like Leah maybe. Though you never know. But I think Tucker's like right out the bat, like what I would say. What's my favorite season of Big Brother? I like BB14 a lot. Like I think BB14, like you have like the coaches, like you have a lot of like really fun moments like Dan's funeral. You have Frank's whole run on the season. You have the Willie Hance saga at the very beginning. You have Dan's like journey towards the end game. You have that moment at the final four where Dan votes out Shane after he got Danielle to use the veto on him, which is pretty crazy there. So like I feel like I'm very partial towards BB14. That neither of the downgrade mascots were ever nominated bodes well for their chances, I think. Yeah, like it's definitely good work on their end. Like, to be fair, like I never thought that alone was gonna put them in danger. Like, because I know like when the twist was first announced, I went on Reddit and it's like, oh man, can't sell Chelsea and Cedric, they got screwed over, and obviously it's not great. Like it's obviously something that if like a more maybe stable is not the right word. Like if a more traditional player had won the first HOH, it could have used that as like easy excuse. But yeah, I do think they did good work. Like Chelsea in particular, I feel like did pretty good work this week in ingratiating herself with Law in the House. Cedric too, to an extent. Again, I think Cedric. I feel like Cedric's like on paper in a pretty good spot, but he has people gunning after him. Like Matt is someone who has talked about going after him. Quinn is also someone who has openly talked about not trusting him. But I feel like considering the hand they were dealt, yeah, like I agree. Like they were in pretty good. Uh, they were able to play their hand pretty well. Thoughts on Vanessa Russo? She's a great player. I mean, she's definitely one of the best players to never win, and like she definitely approached the game in a pretty interesting way. So yeah, I have nothing bad to say about Vanessa. If there was any one-off Big Brother video you'd want to do, what would it be? So I don't normally like focus a lot on Big Brother. Like I feel like Survivor's like my go-to show. Like I feel like that's a show that I know more inside and out. Big Brother is something that obviously nope, like I have seen all the seasons and like I do like know like a lot good amount, but I feel like it's not really something that I feel that invested in making too many videos on, though I feel like the quarter ranking video was something I did enjoy a good amount. But yeah, like I feel like the main thing I'd be inclined to do is like probably like a more traditional like either like a casting video or a a winner ranking or something like that. But I don't really have it like as a top priority. Who is your dark horse pick for the season? Um, dark horse pick. So so part of me wants to say I want to say Joseph is like my dark horse pick. I feel like he's someone that could go a lot of different ways. Like though I could also see him like having like a Corey trajectory, kind of like from Corey from last season. I think Leah is also being talked about a lot as someone who could shoot up a lot. And then there's also Rubina. Like I feel like Rubina is kind of hard for me to talk about. Same thing with Tucker. Like these people who aren't like in that terrible position, but have also not been super active in the game so far. So like I feel like those are the people that I kind of gravitate towards. But if I had to pick one person, probably Leah. I feel like again, if Matt goes this week, I feel like Leah could be in a very strong spot moving forward. So I think I'd go with Leah as my dark horse. Tucker's head doesn't match his body. What are you talking about? I mean, do you see this guy? I don't know. I feel like it kind of fits. Like he kind of fits like this. I feel like he kind of fits like this profile as this bro guy. You know, like I don't know. I feel like it kind of fits like with like the gelled hair, the Jim Carrey look. I don't know. Get it back. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Pour one out for BB Can. Yeah, rest in peace, BB Can. Yeah, I saw the video of them like demolishing the set, and it was very tragic. So I don't have a cup I can pour out, but I can like take a sip of water. Yeah, rest in peace. Who do you think is 100% going home pre-jury? 100%. Well, I feel like I can't be 100% about anything, but I think Angela is a pretty likely pre-jury boot. Like, I don't think she's likely to go home next week, but I feel like she's definitely someone I could see being taken out in like week 4, like week 3, week 4, like that sort of area. It'll be interesting to see how she plays once she's like not HOH anymore. But yeah, so there's her obviously. Obviously, Lisa's in a pretty bad spot coming in next week, though. I could see Lisa recovering. I could see a world where Lisa like gets like pulled into like a group and is kind of dragged for a lot of the game, sort of like what we saw with Bowie Jane. So I don't think she's the answer. I think I would go with Angela. I feel like Angela is someone who I can more easily see being. Actually, I mean, not. I mean, they can obviously go. They can both go home pre-jury, but I feel like Lisa has more upside of like being like dragged to the game. I feel like Angela's someone who is less likely to be dragged. So there's that. Right. So what else is there to talk about? Who do you think is 100% making jury? That's another interesting question. I think Cam's pretty lock safe. I feel like Cam should be in a pretty good spot for a while. He should probably make jury all right. Quinn is pretty likely to make jury as well, unless he like severely overplays in the next couple weeks. But I feel like if he's able to like again keep it down low, I feel like he should be pretty lock safe for jury. Who else is there? I think Brooklyn is in a good spot to make jury. I'd say she probably has like a 80% chance of making jury right now. And then I think Chelsea's also in a pretty good spot right now. So I think if I feel like Cam and Quinn are probably my safest bets to actually make the jury, with Cam probably like having the edge over Quinn. So I feel like that's probably the answer for me. So I guess while we wait, I guess you can play some blackjack while I wait. All right, all right, I can play some blackjack for a bit. Who do you not want to win HOH? There's not that many people I wouldn't want to win HOH. I think probably Cam is probably like a boring pick. Dang. I think I think Rubina could be boring. I think same thing with oh T-Core could be interesting. But I think like Mackenzie is someone I wouldn't want to win. Oh man. Right, there we go. Hopefully Bowie Jane debuts next week. I'm assuming you're talking about Lisa there. But yeah, I mean, she's gotta show up on the season, you know. I mean, to be fair, she's already delivered a good amount on the actual feeds, but especially like with some of her antics, like especially with the stuff she's told Angela, like how she doesn't want to associate with her inside or outside the game. That's pretty crazy. Man, these are not good hands here. Split. Oh, that went horribly. That went about as horribly as I could have imagined. So we're now 30 minutes from the start of the live show. All these high cards are killing me. I got pulled for a bust. So I guess in other news, so we know 48 finished filming recently, so hopefully we'll get the cast soon. I haven't really heard much about the cast. Let me just check Inside Survivor to see if we heard anything from them. Because I haven't heard anything about the 48 cast yet. Okay, I'll let that stand. Okay, yep, we don't have a cast yet. That's unfortunate. Should be pretty good. It's not looking great. Wow, another blackjack. Yeah, I'm getting killed in this. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. You didn't come here to watch blackjack. So, what else is there? So I guess we could also talk a little about the actual powers themselves. So we obviously have America's veto, which is not that great. It's actually fine enough for Mackenzie because it gives her like a week of safety. So something I was actually anticipating when I first heard about this twist was that Mackenzie could tell other people about America's veto and then through that give herself 4 weeks of safety. Because why would you even consider putting her up if she could just whip out America's veto and use it to save herself? I feel like if I got America's veto, I would have tried to do that and try to keep myself safe for those first 4 weeks. But it doesn't seem like she's done that, which is something. And then you have Quinn's power, which is like really broken, obviously. I think I have scanners. I'm just looking at the games. Do I want to make any last second changes here? So I have Joseph, Brooklyn, and T-Core. Are there any good picks? I may actually make a last second move here in my draft. I'll just swap T Core for Leah. I originally had Leah in my draft, but then I sold her for Brooklyn. But now I don't know. I'm kind of back on the Leah train. It's kind of a risky play, but I think at this point I may have to bite the bullet. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do that. There we go. Okay. Just updating the games. Okay. I may do the boot list later. I also have to update the poll responses here so I can have scores ready. Yeah, I might just update the score. So there's also the polls, which I've enjoyed so far. Like I feel like they're pretty fun way. Oh nope, not what I meant to do. I feel like they were something I saw on Terran's stream, and I was like, I think that could be fun. So when was the last time I updated the score? Okay, so I think I have everything updated. Wow, a lot of people said Kenny would be the first boot, and they kind of got it on there. Good for them. So one. Okay. Two, three. Okay, so next it was this. This question here. Who will get a 1 on the stock watch? Yeah, this was actually pretty split, but someone did actually get a 1, which is pretty crazy. Oh, raccoon actually did 1. Do we have any other comments? No, not right now. Okay, so it was the 1 on the stock watch, and then it was the arena comp, and then the HOH. Okay, okay. So I think after the episode ends, I'm gonna release a new poll question, just asking for people's thoughts on the week. I think that makes sense. Okay, TXO, that's a new person. So I gotta give who? Wrong person. Okay, you. And I have to give. Okay. Okay. So I think everything's all up to date now. Well. Okay. All right. We got about 15 minutes left before get to the actual program here. Should be pretty hype. I guess with that, I should probably also turn on my way of watching the show. So in the past, I've used Xfinity, my Xfinity Stream app, in order to actually watch it, but for some reason it's not working as well, or at least it like buffers a lot when I use it on my phone now. So I started using Paramount Plus. So that could affect the timing of things slightly in terms of when I things hop up on my feed here, but it's what it is. I'm guessing we got ghosts on here. Oh no, we have Jeopardy on. That's something. You have Young Sheldon on at 9. Okay. All right. So obviously you see the thing on the top of here about finding ways to watch a show. I do not know any unofficial ways of watching US shows. Now, if we're talking like non-US shows like Australian Survivor, I mean, I can help out a bit more with that, obviously, but when it comes to US, I don't really know any resources, so I'm probably not the person to ask, but that's all right. But yeah, I mean, we got an action-packed hour here. I mean, we're gonna have this live AI arena comp that everyone wanted and everyone needed. And we're gonna have our first live eviction. You know, can't complain too much. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna have time to get to a. We're probably not gonna have time to see like a live HOH. I assume that's gonna happen after the show, but you know that's just what we're dealing with here. All right, so we're watching Jeopardy right now. We are on Double Jeopardy here. got American Rivers, Literary Haterade. All right, so they're showing the categories right now. I'm not sure how good I'll do on these, but worth a shot. American Rivers, Daily Double. Yeah, I don't know any of these. I'm guessing you had to like rearrange the letters. It's a pretty chaotic game. Like a lot of swings happening. Ooh. These people are bad. These people are struggling at this. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, we are currently watching Jeopardy in the lead up to Big Brother. And not really much going on here. Blue Ridge. All right, well, I got one right. That's good. All right, so they're going to commercial now. Get ready for Final Jeopardy. So I guess can I ask all you guys like, are there any like things you like to see tonight? Like, so is the consensus here that people want Matt to win the Arena Comp? Is that what is that what I figure here? Um, just found your channel. Welcome, Corinne. But yeah, if you're just joining us, we're getting ready to stream the first live show here. Should make for a pretty interesting hour. Not gonna lie. Yeah, we're just at commercial break. Jeopardy's on right now. I think they're getting ready for Final Jeopardy. And so we're seeing Final Jeopardy now. How exciting! Welcome, Lucas M, to the Discord server. I see you just joined us here. Welcome aboard. On the West Coast saves me a lot of time. Oh yeah, so that's probably like the bad thing about living on the West Coast is that you have to wait until 8 p.m. your time for the show, which is definitely annoying. Like, and it's actually something I thought about myself, like, because I live on the East Coast, but I have a brother that lives on the West Coast. He lives in California, and I have thought about moving out there. Though at the same time, it's like that's something like a consideration I have is like I may need to get like a VPN or something if I were to move out there, so I could be able to like watch it in East Coast time. Again, I've only looked into it a little bit, but maybe that's something you can consider. Like, but this could also work. Like, obviously, I can't show you the show, but I can give you the play-by-play. And my Jeopardy's just wrapping up here. So we are about 3 minutes from the start of the live show. Should be pretty hype here. Oh, in commercials here. I guess I can also like arrange these so they're in alphabetical order. So it's Quinn. So it's Decor Tucker, Quinn. No, it's Rubina. Quinn. Mackenzie. Leah. No, it's Lisa Leah. Joseph. No, Cam. Brooklyn. Tucker. Ticor. All right. There we go. Now they're in alphabetical order. All right. It is now 8 o'clock. Still in commercial. Still in commercial on my end, but we should be starting any moment now. Probably as soon as the commercial ends. No, it's another commercial. Okay, now the show's starting. So if you're just joining us, we are now getting to the BB26 live show for week 1 where someone's about to be evicted here. Previously on Big Brother. Yes, we're getting to the recap now. They're showing, yeah, they're doing all the standard stuff here. This is a pretty, yeah, they're kind of dragging this out. All right, so now they're showing the collective, which, yeah, they're propping up the collective as like the embodiment of Angel's initial power structure. Though obviously, if I had to guess, this episode will probably show us more of the real alliances, like the Pentagon and like the Have Not group. All right, so now they're showing the fight or the performance, I should say, for a low budget movie. It's still a great moment on the show. And her son's a brat. All right. All right. Looks like we're wrapping up the recap here. Big brother. All right, we are now done the recap here. We are now getting back to the studio where we'll be talking with Julie here. Good evening. I'm Julie Chen Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother. Gotta love it when the first HOH is a tournament for train. I agree. No more music. I guess I can also like rearrange this. But first, all right, there we go. All right, now we're getting back to the actual show. All right, so we have Kenny talking about how he didn't want Matt on the block. And Matt's like, "What did I do? What did I do?" Like he's just completely bewildered. Like I do think Kenny should probably go. Like I think at the very least Matt makes for better TV, like or at least better feeds. I feel like the show's kind of giving him like a pretty standard like golden boy edit, which is annoying in that it covers up like a lot of the issues that cause people to like want to target him. All right, so now they're showing Mackenzie and Matt together. Yeah, she's explaining her decision to not use America's veto. Oh no, correct me. I'm mistaken. She's talking to Lisa. All right, so now we're seeing Kenny and Matt talking here. Yeah, well, they're showing Kenny being pretty high on Matt, which part of the reason why he was giving up. Like he felt like Matt deserved it more. All right, now we're getting Matt having a combo with Lisa here. Stabbed in the face. All right, so they're showing Matt like putting together the votes here. He's like, "Oh, I have Mackenzie, I have Lee, I have Lisa. Like these votes, it's like we kind of had Lisa's vote. Well, Lisa didn't really want to keep him, but like she thought for a while that the House was going to keep Matt when they weren't. All right, so now we're getting Matt talking to Quinn here. A lot of focus on Matt's campaigning here. All right, so Matt seems to think Quinn would vote to keep him over Chemo, which sure. All right, so they're showing barbershop being formed. Yeah, so they're basically just yeah they're showing the collective like it's kind of dead. All right, so now we have Chelsea, Leah, Cedric McKenzie, and Chelsea. So we have Matt counting votes. We have Brooklyn talking about taking out. So Brooklyn's like, yeah, Matt's gone. Yeah, so now Matt's talking about the barbershop. And so he's talking to Rabina. Again, the numbers there. So now Matt is corralling like the barbershop plus Rabina to get the votes there. Yeah, so Matt's pretty confident the barbershop's going to hold here. You're referring to it as the BS Alliance, which is funny. All right. All right, so we're now going to commercial break. We're going to get another segment here, probably, before the comp. All right, so a lot of focus on Matt here. Obviously, trying to get the numbers to stay. Does he have the numbers to stay? No. He has to win the comp. And they're always talking about, like, and yeah, like, Matt's, like, the main character in all this, but, they're always, like, showing like people like Brooklyn and Rabina like being actually more for Brooklyn and Quinn like talking about how do we really want to keep Matt around? All right, so we're getting a Survivor commercial now. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I heard some people online saying how like this commercial implies that there could be like a two tride swap here. Like they could be going out of two trides. I personally don't think so. I think they're just showing the merge tour. I think that set of like the two like sides. I think it's just a mergatory thing. All right, we're back from commercial now. All right, so now we're getting Matt and MJ again. All right, so I guess now we're gonna pretend they're a showmance. It would be funny if they set this all up and then Matt just goes home. That'd be funny. Hey, Laura B. I see you're also on the West Coast. All right, so now we're getting Chemo and Lisa talking. All right, so Lisa's telling Chemo she's not committing to keeping him until the comp. All right, so they're pretending like Chemo could be in danger here. Yeah, so we're the segment's about Chemo like trying to get people secure their votes for him. I mean, in reality, a lot of the campaigning has been like, we're definitely not voting out Chemo, which is funny. Like, they're like hedging more when it comes to voting out Kenny or Matt, but like, Chemo staying is probably like the thing people are probably the most open about. So it is funny that Chemo's getting the focus here. Yes, they're showing Chemo and T-Core talking. I'm guessing this could be setting up their relationship. All right, so now we have Chemo and Brooklyn talking. I feel like Kenny's kind of getting shafted here. Like, are they just gonna sweep Kenny under the bus here? I do like Chemo a lot, though. Like, he does have fun energy. Okay, so now we have Angela. I'm guessing this is setting up Kenny telling Angela that he's not gonna try. Yep, they're showing Kenny. Yep, they're showing Kenny admitting he's not gonna try. He's giving up. I have a feeling he's going home if he doesn't win. Yeah, Matt's going home if he doesn't win. So it's Matt, and if Matt wins, then Kenny goes. That's what the hit list is. Chemo's safe. Like no one's voting out Chemo. All three of them are bad players. It's just that Matt will keep the show more interesting. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if Chemo's like a bad player. Like he definitely like he has promise. It's just that he was a bit too passive this week. Hey Ace, glad you could join us here. We're kind of watching this from another country. I don't know unofficial sources for watching BBUS. I can't really help you there. Yeah, now they're completely dunking on Kenny right now. Yeah, but how you doing, Ace? Yes, BB is on right now. We're watching the episode live. We're currently watching Kenny telling Angela he's not going to try in the arena comp. Yeah, Angela's not happy. Gonna move you to my computer, BBRB. All right. Yeah, so now they're showing Kenny being against Angela. Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try now. I'm gonna save Matt. I'm gonna save both Kenny. I'm gonna save myself and I'm gonna save Matt, and then I'm gonna come for you, Angela. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Used to be one for Canada to watch, but they stopped it. Yeah, again, I don't really know how to watch. I can't really help you with like non-official sources. Anyway, we're going to commercial again. We're gonna get the comp after that. All right, looks like it's gonna be a quiz comp. Okay, so I did ask a poll question here. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, so as you can see here, Matt is a clear favorite to win here. I think the assumption was that it was gonna be like a physical comp. And to be fair, even if it's like a quiz comp, like Matt still has like a fighting shot. But yeah, like Matt's the clear favorite here. There's definitely some chemo supporters, and then no one voted for Kenny to win the comp, which is funny. But yeah, I think it's between Matt and Chemo here. I mean, even now with Kenny say he's gonna try, I don't think he's gonna pull it out. But you never know. Or, hey Ace, glad you're back. We're currently a commercial. Yeah, like we're probably gonna get the comp next, and from that we'll figure out who's gonna get the points. So if you're new, so we have a Discord server, and Yeah, like we're doing polls during the season, like every week. So yeah, I mean, I asked a question about who's gonna win the AI comp. Matt's the clear favorite here in the polling, but you never know. Um, no, I don't play Fortnite. I played it once, like a couple of years ago. I played it once, but I never really got into it. Whoever gets HOH who will go up. I think Lisa is probably like the most obvious target coming the next week. Though I think depending on who goes here tonight, I think that could impact things. Like I think if Matt stays and Kenny goes, I think Leah could be in some danger next week. Um there is a possibility Cedric could go up potentially. I think T Core could also be a pawn. Chemo could obviously, since he's already on the block, he could just be an easy pawn to put up again, probably not being targeted. But I think Leah and Lisa are probably in the most danger of being targeted next week. And obviously Matt, if Matt stays, I think they're probably in the most danger. I don't think Angela will go, but she could be an option if like Matt wins HOH. So that could be an option. Yeah, they showed the Angela and Kenny fight. Yeah, they showed it like when Kenny was talking about not wanting to fight in the AI arena comp. They showed Angela getting all mad. And then we saw Kenny getting all fired up in the DR. He's like, I'm going to win this now. Angela fired me up. So yeah, they showed it already. Oh, Angelisa. No, they did not show that. Yeah, like earlier in the show, like Julie talked about, oh, Angela, like at the beginning of the show, Julie was like, oh, Angela's at it again. Who's gonna be the target of her wrath? And it's like, obviously, it could have been Lisa, but no, it's Kenny. They showed the Kenny fight. No, they haven't. Again, Lisa's been getting a mostly positive edit. I mean, not negative edit, I should say. She's been kind of there on the show. Anyway, we're back from commercial now, and we are now getting to the BBAI Arena comp. So on the screen here are the poll results, what people thought would win. All right, here we go. Okay, so it's a quiz comp. Oh, never mind. No, it's a physical comp. Never mind. It's like a physical slash memory comp. Okay, Matt should be Matt should do pretty well at this. One would think. Okay. All right. We're about to get started here. All right, here we go. We are now on our way. They have 2 minutes to lock in their answer here. They have to figure out which person was seen the most in like all these screens. Like they have a whole bunch of screens with like all the players on it. They have to figure out who was in it the most. And based on the demonstration, it seems like the answer is Brooklyn. So right now we're seeing them like they're just observing, trying to figure it out. Right now they're seeing a lot of haven't seen a lot of Brooklyn yet. We saw from the demonstration that the answer is probably Brooklyn. At least I would think. But we haven't seen Brooklyn in any of these like slides yet. Yeah, so Right now, they're just standing around. They're just studying, trying to figure it all out. Yeah, Brooklyn's not in any of these. All right, so Matt's moving now. He thinks he has the answer. All right, we have 1 minute left. Kenny and Chemo are still studying. No, oh, never mind. Matt's still studying. He was just moving. He was just moving to a different side of the room. All right, so Kenny and Matt, they're going back to get their answers in. Matt is all right. So now they're all looking for their answers here. Chemo locked in his answer. Matt brought in his. Chemo was the first to lock in Quinn. Matt has T-Core and Kenny has Joseph. 3 completely different answers here. All right. With that, Chemo has won the AI Arena Comp. Ace, I think you're a little ahead of me because you said in the chat earlier, but I'm seeing it now on the screen here. Chemo has won. He has secured a spot off the block. All right, so let me just take him off here. There we go. And with that, we have our noms for the week. We have Matt. Nope. No, you're good. No, you're good. All right, so let me just update the polls here. So who said Chemo? We had a couple of people say Chemo here. Nope, that's not it. I had a feeling Chemo could have won it. Like, I feel like, again, even though I voted for Matt in the poll, which, by the way, I'm not doing well score-wise in this, but... All right, so who said it? BB26. Maybe I need to open a spreadsheet. But if you're just joining us, Chemo has just won the AI Arena Comp, meaning he is off the block, and it is between Kenny and Matt, where Matt is expected to be evicted here pretty decisively here, which is slightly unfortunate, but that's just how it'll be sometimes. All right, so, I mean, okay. All right, so it is commercial right now. But if you're just joining us, Chemo has just won the AI Arena Comp, meaning that it is now Kenny versus Matt on the block. Matt is expected to be evicted here. He is the main target on the board. All right, so that means they get the points. So a draw. Two. Okay. All right, so I just updated the polls. Have you watched Kevin and Gurleen on Amazing Race Canada? I have not watched Amazing Race Canada. I've heard some things about it, but I never actually watched it myself. But I'm guessing you mean Kevin. Isn't it like one of the Kevins from BB Can, like Kevin Jacobs or Kevin Martin? Welcome, Leo Aromba Baracco. Welcome. I think I say that right. But welcome to the server. I'm glad you could join us here. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, Kevin Martin. No, I haven't watched Amazing Race Canada, but I do know about Kevin Martin, obviously. But how did he do on Amazing Race Canada? I'm not super familiar with it. I also don't care about spoilers, so I mean, again, some people don't care in the chat, but yeah, we're still a commercial. We are waiting for it to get back from commercial. So again, I'm expecting Matt to be voted out here. I know Kenny has done some campaigning to try to get himself voted out, and he's obviously not going to be happy to lose Matt here. But I do. You have to take the shot at Matt here because like Kenny's like such an easy. Again, like now that Kenny's staying, like he could be a potential easy person to put up next week because like what is he really doing? All right, we are back now from commercial here. We are about to get to the live eviction here. So if you're just joining us, Chemo has won the AI Arena comp, meaning he is safe. He is the 11th person voting, and it is between Kenny and Kenny and Matt over who will be evicted. And through that, I expect Matt to be voted out here. Oh, so I guess yeah. So now Julie's announcing the results to the other players. That's where they show them all celebrate. They cut to the fish. so they were all Chemo, Kenny, and Matt. They were all like on the top of the stairs, like away from like the other people, and they didn't hear Julie. So Julie had to call them out a couple times. So that was pretty funny. So yeah, she had to call them out a couple times before they heard her, and then actually walk down the stairs to go back to the living room. What's next for winner ranking? BB, US, Canada. I think I'm more inclined to do an Amazing Race winner ranking first. I think that may be a bit. I think that may be a bit more interesting because I think Amazing Race is like very metrics driven. So like, I feel like I could definitely do a winner ranking based on that. But I don't plan to do one immediately. So yeah, they're showing them all celebrating here. Like, way, we're so happy for you, Chemo. Yay. You don't like the arena comping live. I I personally like it. Like I think it's definitely again. Okay, so now they're doing their pitches now. Okay, so we're not doing pitches here. Like they're just doing like a regular like they're just letting them like talk. So Kenny's doing his pitch now. Okay, so Julie's giving them a little time to talk, but then like they're also gonna do speeches. Now Matt's pitching in front of everyone. This is awkward. Oh my god, that's funny. Like, so Julie literally gave them a minute. They literally gave them a minute, but then Julie spent like 20 of those seconds talking, explaining what the rules were. So like they barely had time to do anything. That's funny. So anyway, we're now getting to the pitches here. But back to your point, Ace. I actually kind of like it that's live, like because it obviously like shakes up the campaigning, like because they had to like come up with contingency plans, and it also makes it more again. It also makes it more likely that there's blind sides, and plus it gives me something to talk about, like on the live show. Like there's obviously that there's intrigue coming to this live show. It's like you weren't 100% sure who the vote is before the comp, obviously. So anyway, Kenny's giving his pitch now. Yeah, so Kenny's like super emotional here. We're missing blindsides in Modern Big Brother. I agree. I do think Matt recognizes though he is going home. I don't. I think he was. I think he knows that he doesn't have the votes here, which is unfortunate. But man, like, yeah, a lot of people are emotional here. Now Matt's giving his pitch. Yeah, Matt's super emotional. Like, I think he knows he's cooked. Yeah, I mean, so obviously we're not gonna have time for a live HOH. I mean, I think I wasn't expecting there to, but yeah, I mean, there's only 20 minutes left, so only time for a vote and an exit interview. Yeah, he's giving me like a really long pitch here. Yeah, Angela's like, all right, time for the vote. All right, Chemo is first to vote. This should be a Matt vote here. Nothing too shocking. Chemo looks like your choir teacher. That's something. All right, Chemo is a vote for Matt. Now Lisa is coming up to vote. She should be a vote for Matt here because she knows the vote's on Matt now. Oh, all right. Lisa is a vote for Kenny. So either she still didn't recognize it, or it's probably sympathy vote. I don't know. Because I thought she got the memo that it was a vote. The vote was on Matt. So it's MJ now. All right. MJ is a vote for Kenny. That is not too surprising. Probably a sympathy vote. T-Core is now up. I'll definitely take 6 minutes commercial to results to go home. Oh yeah, I'll definitely take a couple minutes. Like there's definitely gonna be a commercial break here. T-Core is now up. She should be a vote for Matt. There we go. 2 votes for Vic Matt. They're probably gonna cut the commercial here because it's a tie, probably. Yep, we are going to commercial right now. They want to set up as a tie. Not too shocking here, but Matt should be going home. I feel like Lisa and Mackenzie were the only 2 votes for Kenny here. All right. All right, we are currently at commercial here. You couldn't one of them use her power? No, they can't. So I think MJ's power is only good at the veto meeting. So like so I think she can only use it at the veto meeting, at the same time as the other vetoes being used. And I think like her and Matt even agree that she wouldn't use the veto anyway. She even says in the episode herself that in this episode that she wasn't going to use the veto because she wants to use it for herself. And then Quinn's power doesn't really factor into it, like, so, and he has no reason to keep Matt anyway. So I'm not expecting the powers to come out tonight. Is Kenny going home? No, Matt should be going home. So MJ is a sympathy vote, if I had to guess. And then Lisa, I'm not sure what Lisa's doing. Because she obviously didn't, for a lot of the week, she didn't know the house was against Matt. But I thought in the last day I heard that she was looped into the plan. Like, so I'm not sure if she's genuinely blindsided here or if it's just like a sympathy. No, it's not even a sympathy. Like, she just doesn't know. Because the reason she wanted to vote for Kenny is because she thought the house was going to vote to keep Matt, and she didn't want to be against the house. But she herself doesn't have much of a connection to Matt, so like I think she just doesn't know. And then MJ's probably just a sympathy vote. 65748 3. I think it's 9-2. I think everyone else, all these people, they're all voting for Matt. I feel like those were the only two people ever voting for Kenny in this situation. I think they just wanted to. I think they front loaded them to make it seem like it was gonna be like a close vote, the casuals. But Matt should be taken out here pretty decisively. Just had the craziest boxing match of your life. I threw up everywhere during the break and came back. Still, a good job, King Doc. I didn't know you boxed. That's pretty good. So yeah, I think Lisa's gonna be blindsided here. Matt did not want MJ to use the power on. Yeah, they did talk about that. So that's why the power wasn't used. So we're still a commercial here. We still have 7 more people to vote here. All of them should be on Matt. At least one would think. All right, we are back from commercial, where the vote will resume. We have 4 votes now, 2 votes on Kenny, 2 votes on Matt. All the other votes should be going to Matt here unless something else weird is happening. So Brooklyn is now voting. All right, Brooklyn is a vote for Matt here. All right, now Leah is voting. Leah should be a vote for Matt here. I think she recognizes the votes against Matt. She should be voting on Matt. Oh, she is a vote for Kenny here. She's probably be in line with MJ here. Probably her appearances. Anywho, Rabina is now voting. She should be a vote for Matt. All right, Rabina is a vote for Matt here. All right, Quinn. This should be a vote for Matt for sure. How is the voting order decided? I think it's random for the most part. I don't think it matters too much, especially since most votes are unanimous. All right, Quinn is a vote for Matt. Matt just needs one more, and he's gonna be going home. All right, Cam. This should seal it. All right, there we go. Just like that, Matt will be the first boot of the season. All right, so Tucker, this should be a Matt vote. All right. Yeah, I think Leah probably did it more to be in line with MJ here. And then we have Joseph, should be a Matt vote. All right. And with that, Matt has been evicted in a 6-3 vote. Now Joseph's doing like a weird exit. Yeah, Joseph's kind of holding himself up here. Can't wait for Julie. Julie hasn't cut in yet. That's funny. Julie just didn't acknowledge it at all. He still hasn't gone back. Like he's like that's funny. All right. Yeah, MJ looks shocked. Yeah, I saw MJ like I saw her like gasp. Yeah, so I think she was blindsided. I mean, Matt seems pretty unfazed here. Like he seems to be taking it pretty well, but yeah, like Mackenzie has a big reaction. Can't really see what Lisa's doing here. She's probably like just kind of confused. To be fair, Lisa wanted Matt to go. She just vote. I think she just voted Kenny because she thought the House was going to vote to keep Matt, which is obviously a knock. How are the powers given? How I don't know how they were decided. I think it was just random because it's literally like on the show. It's like they just like went. It just showed them going up to see if they got the power, like showing all the people that played in the upgrade comp, and then like when Quinn and MJ got it, it just said like, "Oh, you got this." Like, I don't think there was really like any like thing they did to get like the particular power. Yeah, MJ is really upset here. Yeah, it's just a lot. So yeah, Matt's now going out to see Julie here. All right, we are going to commercial now, and then we're gonna get the interview here. Probably should be a short commercial break because there's only 7 minutes left here. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting vote count here. Obviously, not like the unanimous vote you see normally. So, I think just looking at this vote count here, so it does seem like MJ was blindsided. Based off her reaction, it does seem like she was blindsided here. I'm not sure. Was Leah included on this plan? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt here and say that she was blindsided here, though she could have also like known about it and still. Though it's like she probably should have told MJ anyway, because you'd think like if she were to like still want to work with MJ that she would have like at least told her if she knew. So I don't know. I think Leah might have also like not known entirely, or at least been left out of it. Matt, the tribe has spoken. Yeah, the tribe has spoken indeed. But yeah, I am expecting Leah now to be in a better spot here. I feel like me switching my draft to Leah could work out here now that Matt is leaving. Because the assumption here is that now that Matt's gone, like Leah will be more open, and you'll have people like Quinn who have talked about wanting to work with Leah. Like now they'll be more open to working with Leah in here. The question is whether they want Mackenzie out first too, because I think for sure, I think just with Matt going out, they should recognize that Leah knows that she's on the bottom. I think that alone should be an indication there. So I think as soon as next week, Leah could be in a better spot. And then obviously you have the HOH here. That could also be interesting. But if you're just joining us, Matt has just been evicted in a 6-3 vote. He is the first boo of the season. And we are back from commercial now, where we are seeing Julie talking with Matt. Let's see what this interview is all about. All right, I also have to update the draft games now that everything's closed. I'll probably close the games now. I'll just close it a little early. All right, so no one lost a pick here, which makes sense. No one really drafted Matt. It's also funny how Matt was the runner-up last season, and now this season Matt's the first boot. That is kind of funny. All right. Yeah, I'm just updating the games. I'll probably update the boot list tomorrow because we did get a couple more entries, and I don't feel like updating it right now. All right. All right. And with that, the show's pretty much done here. I'm just updating the games here. Um, all right, what are all saying? What's the deepfake? So basically, the deepfake HOH, it's so if so basically Quinn can use it to essentially hijack someone's HOH. So basically, what it is, it's like let's say Cedric wins HOH here in week 2. If Quinn uses it, then basically Quinn will be able to control Cedric's HOH like by naming like noms and replacement noms after the veto, which is pretty critical here. But it's basically under the guise that people will think Cedric is doing it. No, actually, it's more under the guise of an invisible HOH, basically. Because I think what will happen in practice is that they'll like let people know that the HOH has been hijacked, but they won't say who hijacked it, so it's as effectively going to be turned into an invisible HOH, which I think works because then it will allow Cedric to compete in the following HOH, which would be kind of crap if Cedric got his eight. Again, I'm just using Cedric as an example here. If Cedric had his HOH stolen, then he couldn't compete in the next HOH, even though he couldn't actually control anything. So that's basically what it is. Next new video coming up on the channel. So I think for now I'm mainly focusing on the Big Brother updates. But I think I'll probably make a couple more videos before the Survivor season starts. Haven't decided what yet, but I'll probably think of something. I know it's not like a broken record, but I think Matt is number 4 and a worst player of all time. Yeah, so I think that'll definitely be an interesting debate for like whether Matt's like the worst player of all time. He obviously played really bad here, and he kind of brought it upon himself. And I think in general, like he has like a lot of issues with like overconfidence. I think he's kind of unaware at points, and I think at the end of the day, he made some really bad moves. Like again, like his handling of Tucker is really bad. For example, like the fact that Tucker came to him with a final 2, not only turns it down, but later throws Tucker under the bus by suggesting him as a replacement nom. I think that's pretty bad. I think the fact that he essentially drove away most people that were willing to work with him, like people like Joseph, for instance, is also pretty bad. The fact that he openly antagonized Angela is also pretty bad, especially when she was the HOH. That's also pretty bad. But I think the main redeeming thing about Matt is that he did have people by his side by the end of it. I think MJ and Leah were clearly on his side by the end of it. I think that's something you can at least give him some credit for. So I think that's something. I think that alone would prevent him from being like too high on an all time worst player list. Even though I think he did bring his boot upon himself, I think in a lot of ways you can compare him to like Brian Hart or like Jose. I think that those are pretty apt comparisons here because he still had people on his side by the end of it. And yes, Lisa probably would have voted him out had she known that Matt didn't have the votes to stay, but I think he did genuinely have Leah and Mackenzie on his side. Mackenzie for sure. I think we'll have to learn more about Leah, but I think Leah was still someone who was still technically working with him. She didn't know Matt didn't have the number. Okay. So even so, like he still had like people on his side during a lot of the week. It's not as if he completely burned everyone, but it's still a really bad game though. I would expect him to be on the bottom of the player ranking at the end of the season. Though we'll have to see how Kenny and Lisa do moving forward. I think that would be pretty interesting. Oh yeah, like he's definitely like definitely bottom 25 players of all time. Like I think I would need to really think about where he would truly land in the scheme of things. But like this was obviously a pretty bad run for him. He completely did to himself, I feel like. So what else is there? I guess I should update the polls. So how are we doing on the polls? So I guess I should update that. So did anyone guess that Matt was going to be the boot here? No, no. I keep doing that. So okay, so we do have people that guessed Matt. Right, I'm just updating the leaderboard here. Come on. Come on, let me screenshot here. Actually, I'm going to add some questions here. I'm actually going to add a couple questions here. So right now it's a three-way tie between Jay, Will, and Skyrus for the lead in the polls, where they have 4 points each. Nope, not what I meant. So, all right, what are people saying here? Man is terrible. Like, I don't think he does well in most seasons, so I am being an advantage of muscular guy. I know how to teleport. I know how to teleport. Pretty much if you watch the feeds. Matt literally tried to get people to target Angela, told Angela to her face, I'm gonna put her up. Oh yeah, like all those things are really bad. Like again, Matt did it pretty much entirely to himself. Like, I'm not denying that. I don't watch feeds and I have no interest in doing so. I might really miss out much. I've only ever seen on BB. Yeah, so I think the show kind of overlooks how bad Matt played over this week. It kind of like it. I feel like the show kind of propped it up as like, oh, Matt was a big threat, and like they did show like the conversation of him telling him Angela that he would put her up, which is obviously really bad. But obviously there was like more bad stuff that wasn't entirely highlighted on the show. But yeah, I think the show for the most part is accurate. Like I don't think there's like a lot of inaccurate information, but I think there's also I think like I feel like when it comes to Matt, I think there's definitely like more that could have been like shown negatively with him. Yeah, I'm just like adding poll questions right now. Um Planning to do like a polling update. So chemo. Yeah, there we go. Three, four, five, 6, 7. Leah, Lisa, Mackenzie, Quinn. Okay, now I'll do the score. All right. What else were people saying? So I don't think Matt doesn't have potential. Like I think like there is like I think there could be a world where he does well. Like he was at least able to get some people on his side initially, which I'll give him credit for, but I can also see like the knock against him in that he just drives people away. I think the biggest problem with Matt is that he lacks self awareness. I think a big problem with him is that he felt like he could talk his way into anything, like that he could say whatever he wanted and not face any repercussions for it, which is obviously really bad and obviously a big reason why like I probably would consider him definitely a bottom tier Big Brother player in a grand scheme of things. I don't think he lacks potential though. I feel like if he's able to like grow and learn from this experience, there is a world where he could do well because he is like a pretty big player, definitely a big talker. But obviously, like this one run was pretty bad for him here. You think he's worse than Luke? I don't think so, because like Luke was like literally like he literally had nobody by the time he went out. Like he was like the only reason he wasn't put up initially was because of like the way like the week one noms were structured, like the initial noms. And even then, like he was considered a backdoor possibility, and he just had no one after the first night. Like he had like the failings five that kind of was like a night one thing, but then after that he like had nothing. Like Matt at least had some numbers, and there were people that were actually willing to work with him. I don't think anyone was actually willing to work with Luke. And then obviously even then Luke like is like an idiot, so like he kind of like there's that. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, pretty interesting week here. Does anyone does anyone have anything else they want to say before I log off? So I'm probably gonna be back again next week to talk more about. I'll be back again next Thursday for the next eviction. That should be pretty fun. Obviously, like we'll probably see like different stuff happening between now and then, but all that should be pretty good. I think it's worse if you actively sabotage your own game. Yeah, that's fair. Like I think being actively bad is obviously pretty bad at the end of the day versus being more passive. So I think that's something to consider. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably gonna sign off now. So again, I'll be back again next week. I feel like this is a pretty good stream on the whole. Definitely a good episode on the whole. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens next week. So with that, I wish you all a good night, and I'll be back again soon.